Hey everyone, John here from TestPrepInsight.com, and today I'm going to be discussing 5 important factors to consider before enrolling in a business degree program online. I know how confusing it can be trying to evaluate all the different online universities out there, but luckily for you, I'm going to cut through all the marketing mumbo-jumbo and really shed light on the decision factors that actually matter. That way you know what to look for during your research process. So if you're ready, let's get to it. Alright, so before I dive into the factors, I should just mention up front here that if at any point during this video you feel like you need some more information, make sure to check out the description below. I'll drop links in the text below the video screen over to a bunch of helpful sources, guides, and resources, so you're definitely going to want to check that out. Also, if you find this video helpful in any way, please make sure to subscribe to our channel, hit that thumbs up button, and drop us a quick comment below. That'd really be appreciated. Okay, so let's get to it. So step number 1 is to actually take a step back and really think about your long-term goals. What does your ideal career in business look like? Is it to become a marketing manager, an accountant, a financial advisor, a consultant, or maybe you want to start your own business one day? You get it, there are a ton of different options. The point is that you first need to narrow down what interests you and what niche within business that you like to specialize in. This will help you figure out which degree program best aligns with your personal goals. That way, as you conduct your research, you can start to pinpoint what I call X factors among all these different online universities and their degree programs. And by X factors, I'm talking about the specific attributes, offerings, and curriculum that align with your objectives. So think different concentration options. Does the university offer an exact concentration for the field that you're most interested in? Finance, accounting, marketing, entrepreneurship, etc. How many elective credits are there as part of that degree track? That way you can really dig into the topic areas that you're truly passionate about. Are there any specific business-related certifications that are integrated into the degree program so you can further bolster your skills and resume? Or maybe your end goal is to earn a master's degree after completing your bachelor's. In that case, you'll likely want to check out online universities that offer an accelerated bachelor's to master's option. Purdue Global, which is a popular national online university, is a perfect example of this. Essentially, by earning a minimum grade in select courses, you can gain entry into a shortened version of Purdue Global's MBA program. That way, you can complete both degrees in less time and at a lower cost than completing both separately. So the key takeaway here is that by thinking through your end goals and objectives ahead of time, it'll help you recognize which programs might be a good fit for you and your career track down the road. Alright, so next up, you should become familiar with admissions requirements in the application process. So online universities generally fall into one of 2 categories, either open enrollment or selective enrollment. Selective enrollment schools are the more traditional types of universities that probably come to mind when you hear the word college. Think schools like University of Michigan, UPenn, MIT, etc. These types of universities typically have stringent admission requirements. You'll likely need a minimum GPA, a high SAT or ACT score, and write a personal statement among some other requirements. So, if you have an exceptional academic background and you don't mind going above and beyond in order to get accepted into a top-ranked business program, then you might want to direct your attention to selective enrollment schools. However, as you might imagine, the acceptance rates at selective enrollment schools tend to be quite low. In other words, it's difficult to get accepted, even for students with impressive academic resumes. Therefore, you might want to also consider open enrollment universities. These types of schools are typically a better fit for students who may not have the most sterling academic background, or for people who may have been serving in the military or working full-time for the past few years and are now looking to go back to school, since the only admission requirement, depending on the program, is that typically students just have a high school diploma or a GED. So if this type of school is a better match with your background or academic resume, I would suggest checking out Purdue Global. I'll be using them for example purposes throughout this video since they're a popular national online university. I'll go ahead and drop a link down below in the description over to Purdue Global so you can get a better idea for what the application and admissions process is like at an open enrollment college. Okay, the third and quite possibly most important factor to consider is tuition cost. How much is an online bachelor's degree in business going to cost? And as you might imagine, there are a few components to keep in mind here. The first thing I would do is look at the university's tuition per credit rate and the number of credits required for graduation. Doing some quick math will give you a ballpark of the total cost to earn your business degree. Typically, national online universities will require either 120 or 180 credits to graduate. And then in terms of tuition, it usually ranges from around $250 per credit on the low end all the way up to $550 or more per credit on the high end. Though this of course depends on the schools that you're considering, as well as other factors like where you reside, whether you're an international student, a member of the military, etc. And then on top of the standard tuition cost, online universities usually charge other fees and assessments as well that you'll definitely want to investigate. This includes technology fees, transcript fees, learning assessments, graduation fees, etc. Sometimes these extra costs can really add up, so it's worth looking into prior to enrolling. All right, so last up here, let's discuss program format. But before I cover that, I should mention that every single month here at Test Prep Insight, we actually give away a $500 scholarship to one lucky subscriber, just as a way of saying thank you and to help ease the financial burden of higher education. It's super simple to enter. I'll drop all the details down below in the description, but no, it takes like 10 seconds to enter, and hey, you never know, you could win $500 to help pay for your business degree. Okay, so back to program format, or in other words, how these universities design their curriculum and schedule. So most online degree programs fall into one of three categories: short accelerated terms, traditional terms, and self-paced. So in that first category of short accelerated terms, these are universities that operate off of 5 to 6 week terms in which students take one course at a time, or maybe in some cases 2 courses max. The pace of each course is pretty quick, but the nice thing here is that you only have to focus on one class at a time. You don't have to constantly switch between studying for 3 or 4 courses at once. So if you're the type of student who struggles with multitasking or staying organized, then this type of program format might be a good fit for you, assuming of course that you have the free time for an accelerated, fast-moving schedule. Now, the second type of format is the more traditional type of college arrangement that you're probably familiar with. I'm talking 2 to 5 classes per term that last anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks. Think quarter or semester system. And I'd say the majority of online universities fall into this category. Purdue University Global, for example, which I've already mentioned several times already, follows this format. They offer 10-week terms in which each program requires a weekly commitment of around 15 to 18 hours on average. Again, the link for Purdue Global will be down below in the description. They have some helpful information on their website regarding how their courses and terms are structured, so you can get a better feel for this type of traditional type of program format. All right, so last up, we have self-paced learning formats, which seem to be gaining popularity over the last few years. Basically, with these types of degree programs, you can take courses at your own pace and advance to the next course when you're ready. So if you want to tackle multiple courses at a time and fly through the degree program as quickly as possible, you can, in as little as 16 to 18 months in some cases. Or if you have other obligations like a full-time job or young kids at home and you only have a few hours per week that you can spare, you can slow things down and study at your own pace. So bottom line, if you're super busy or have a hectic schedule that's constantly changing, this type of self-paced program might be ideal. And sometimes there are schools that offer both types of degree formats, Purdue University Global being one of them. You can earn your business degree following the traditional path that I just covered a minute ago where there's 10-week terms, or for select students, Purdue Global offers what they call their ExcelTrack, which is a perfect example of the self-paced degree format where you're in the driver's seat. And that about does it for this video. I know making a decision about something as important as your education can be nerve-wracking, so I hope this was some helpful advice around online universities and gives you some solid tips for finding a business degree program that fits your specific goals, budget, and interest. Again, if you want to learn more about online business degree programs, be sure to check the description below. I'll have a bunch of helpful information down there for you, including guides and resources related to scholarships and financial aid for you to check out. Also, if you're interested in another degree area outside of business, be sure to check out the rest of the videos on our YouTube channel. We have a ton of helpful content related to higher education. But anyways, as always, thanks for watching, best of luck, and I'll see you next time.